Danse, hello, Eagle Heart woman here with you today. I've just come out of meditation and asked the field to put in my head an idea that will help one or many of you who are tuning in. And I always forget to say, if you're liking this content, could you please subscribe, like, and even leave a comment at the bottom of the video, because that helps me do more and more of this kind of work. And as I said before, I'd like to start to bring in some elders and successful people and talk with them kind of in an interview situation. And I just need to get a few more viewers before I go into arranging all of that. And I have a special offer. You've heard me talk about Wee Whipsun, which is the baby swing, where just online I would tuck you into an adult-sized baby swing and rock you and sing a beautiful lullaby and then do a hypnotherapy session with you. This is absolutely free for the first person who comments genuinely in the comments section. After that, these sessions will cost, and that price is posted on my Eagle Heart Manifestation Facebook page. So hopefully I will hear from some of you, and you've already given me such a boost of confidence by the number of subscribers that are tuning in, and I'm just loving more and more getting the chance to talk with you. You know, somebody said, just do one. And I thought, I can't even do that. But now I've done like 22, 23, and it's getting easier and it's getting me more in touch with my own manifestation practice. It's getting me closer in touch with my spirit. And I had two compliments that came in this past week. A friend of my sister's who tunes in every episode had some surgery to go into, and she listened to my guided meditation, and she said to my sister, tell Diane, tell Eagle Heart Woman, that I was not as nervous as I usually am if I have to go to the dentist or even for a doctor's appointment. And this surgery went so much better. I was at peace with myself, with the hospital, with my doctor. So that really helped me. It boosted my confidence, my self-concept. And really, again, it isn't about how much you're manifesting, how much you're thinking about that one thing. It's about what is your self-concept. Do you believe that you can actually have that thing and bring it into reality? The second compliment, or just a vote of confidence, was another person, local, who is viewing these episodes, and she did something, she said, that was very out of character. She applied for a leadership course and she got in, and she is going to bring back all of those teachings and better her life. She is so excited about it. It helps that the course that she's going to is in the mountains, a beautiful part of Alberta in Banff. So, power to you. Just keep upping your self-confidence and your self-concept of yourself. What I'm going to talk about in a bit ties right into that. Yesterday, or the day before on Friday, we spoke about awareness of how you're creating, either on purpose or by default, because everything around you is a product of what you deeply, deeply believe. And today we are going to talk about manifesting small things to build up your belief. Now, I have never had problem with building up belief, and I have a story for you. I think that I am reading this session properly when I say that a lot of you like the stories, the medicine stories that I share with you. So I'm going to tell you one about a man named Blondin. And I'm going to read it so that I get it absolutely correct. It's in a book that I edited called Yamoria, the Lawmaker. And he was a kind of a culture figure or Jesus figure to the Dene people who live up north near the, actually, they're the last territory before the Yukon or the Arctic. So they are a very hardy people, a very strong people. And this is a story about Blondin, who had medicine power for traveling. So if you don't think that we can manipulate this 3D reality, listen to this. Blondin had traveling power. When he got older, he stayed around the Golini, Norman Wells area, where everyone depended on moose and rabbits for food because there was no fish lake nearby. Blondin had a huge family with many grandchildren, and even though he was so old he could barely walk, he always wanted to go hunting with them. When you go out hunting with dog teams, the trip back home is quick, especially if your dogs are hungry. Blondin would always leave half an hour ahead of his grandchildren, walking with his cane, saying he would ride in the toboggan when the kids caught up with him. But they could never catch up, no matter how fast the dogs ran. The people knew, his children knew, that he was using medicine power to get home, and they respected him for it. So this one time on a hunting trip, Blondin waited by the campfire while his 3 grandchildren were out in the bush tracking a moose. The boys returned empty-handed, and sitting by the fire, tired and hungry, feeling defeated, they had a long trip home ahead of them. And Blondin, the old man, felt sorry for his boys. Later, Blondin's oldest grandson, John, told me what happened. Grandpa started out walking ahead of us while we stayed by the fire, and we ate a few little sandwiches that we'd brought with us, and they were frozen, so we were miserable. As soon as we finished, we set out to catch up with him, and it didn't take long. He was walking so slow. He turned around and looked at us and said, "I will walk ahead of you a little ways. Follow in my footsteps and don't look around anywhere." So that's what we did. So John says, I started to feel a little dizzy walking in his footsteps, like I was drunk. I was very tired, and we still had about 5 miles to go. But everything went kind of hazy, and then we were at home. My 2 cousins said the same thing. They got kind of dizzy, and then, like that, poof, they were home. The grandchildren were young, and they wanted to know how their grandfather made his traveling magic, but they never could catch him in the act. And says John, my grandfather is always alone when he makes his medicine. When we go home in the evening, the trip back home along the shore is long, but the dogs run fast. They want to get home and rest, just like us. Even though he doesn't get much of a head start, Grandpa is almost always home. He's always home by the time we pull up. Always, always it's like that. So what I've been told happens when you have power for traveling, it's like this is your walking field. If you're here and you need to get here, and you're actually able to manipulate reality and fold that distance and arrive at the place that you want to. Isn't that incredible? And wolverines, which are kind of like a tiny bear here in northern Canada, they're ferocious. They're like a big grizzly bear. They will protect anything. And have a serious bite if you ever get in their way. So Wolverine and Grandfather Blondin had that medicine power. So I'm going to talk to you about manipulating reality and suggest that you start with small things. Think about something that you'd like to bring and see in your reality in the next week. Purple flowers, that might be what you want to see. Or a lot of people say that they have manifested parking spaces, but I'm talking about something more personal to you that you want to manifest. Something fun that doesn't ask for a lot of resistance is this week, go and manifest unsolicited compliments. Just somebody out of the blue saying, I like your coat. You have beautiful eyes. Has anybody ever told you? Just unsolicited. It's not like you're going to go out and dress to the nines and go out fishing for compliments. No, just go about the week and say, I'm loving all of these compliments, because it's not an egotistical thing here. It's something to, well, up your energy because it feels good to get a compliment and own that compliment. A lot of people can't do that. They just say, this old rag. Yeah, I've had it for a long time. If they get a compliment about their dress, own it and say, thank you very much. That makes me feel good. And to pre-pave the way to receive those unsolicited compliments, start to give compliments to other people. Maybe start to notice other people in your workplace, people that you're walking past. And if you don't want to say it out loud, just say it in your mind. You passing a woman who's walking a dog, and in your mind say, that woman is probably a very good pet owner. It looks like she's very kind and has good rapport with her pet, and that little dog looks really happy. Or those boots, they look so warm and comfy. I wonder where this person got them. And just continue to do that. And I guarantee you, the universe will mirror back to you all of that good intention that you're putting out without even saying a word. But be sincere, because it could backfire on you if you just start to say, oh, I like your pants, oh, I like your hair, and you're just doing it to go through the motions. That will backfire on you. And then the universe will know that you're insincere and you won't get sincere, unsolicited compliments back. The universe reflects back to us what we're holding in our thoughts, what we're acting on in our thoughts and our emotions. So get that good energy going and receive all the compliments that you want. It's fun. It's a win-win situation. They're feeling good and you're feeling good. So I have one last thing that I'd like to share with you. I don't know if this was way back in my early manifesting experience, so it was probably about 20 years ago. I was driving home from a big workshop that was talking about how powerful we are, talking about that we are spirit and that we are kind of like powerful, tiny gods within ourselves, or gods. And I was on this lone road. I lived in northern Alberta at the time, where there's big stretches between towns. But I was pulling into a town called McLennan, which isn't a very beautiful town. It's only there because the railroad is there, and a long time ago, they were able to ship out things and receive things due to the tracks and the train being so close. I thought about a friend that I wanted to surprise. Actually, I'm getting ahead of myself. I thought, as I was listening to a tape that said, start to manifest by thinking about something, I actually pulled off the road and thought, okay, I'm going to try this. What should I think about? And I closed my eyes and I thought about fairies, pink fairies glittery pink fairies with wings and dancing around, and just like you would see them in a movie or a fantasy Disney plot, flying around and sitting on tree branches or leaves with their tiny little lightness of being. And I did play around with that for about 5 minutes. Then pulling into McLennan, probably, I think, even actually forgetting about what I had just did, I decided to pick up some flowers to bring home. I pulled into a flower shop, went in, and was looking around at the bunch of flowers that I wanted to buy. And when I got to the cash register, this is what was sitting right beside the cash register with a couple other ornaments, but it was a flower shop, and the owner had only a few ornaments that were kind of scattered around the shop. And this one, this pink fairy, was right where I couldn't miss seeing it. So to me, that was the universe saying, keep doing this, keep on with this, keep manifesting, keep drilling into your mind what it is that you want. And if you have any resistance, if you have deeply held beliefs about something that you're not even quite aware of, I do suggest to you the Wee Whipson and hypnotherapy session, just to dig out why you might not feel worthy of something, why you might believe a certain way. But doing these small little manifestation challenges will go a long way to upping your belief. With each and every little success that you have, your belief gets bigger and bigger, larger and larger, and pretty soon you are manifesting cultural centers, wonderful nonprofit organizations, money to share with people, money to put into good programs. I just read about somebody in Canada who won 20 million, and she herself was a homeless person at one time. She had addiction problems, and she had to stay in a women's shelter. So she was taking that money and putting it back she was in the capital of Canada, Ottawa, and she had already gifted a lot of these not-for-profit helping agencies with money from her abundance. And that's how together we win. We come into abundance. We come into wonderful people that help us reach our goals. We find health. We continually manifest that good health, that we are vibrant, that every cell is just bathed in a golden light and is juicy and as vibrant as it could be. Continue to tell your body that, and it listens. And these changes come into your body. And I've heard of people who have gotten rid of, big blisters, all kinds of skin conditions by just seeing them clear, seeing their skin clear and healthy, beautiful, smooth, and very, very velvety to the touch. Don't forget then to take this next coming week to solicit, to receive unsolicited compliments, and maybe even more important than that, give lots of compliments out to the people that are going by you in the world. Thanks for listening. Kinan Skomitan. Hi, thanks, and we'll see you tomorrow.